Hello and welcome to Non-Content Puzzle Design Video 2. In this video, we're going to be going over the types of puzzles that only work with a number lock combination or with a number teacher code. Before we get going, I just wanted to give a reminder that the entire contents of the slideshow that I'm about to show you in this video is available over on Teachers Pay Teachers at my store, The Librarian Room of Requirement. See link below and in the video description. Our next set of puzzles are going to be number puzzles. So the answer is only going to be a number, which you can use as a combination or as a teacher code to exchange for a breakout item. This is a sort type puzzle, which is appropriate for kindergarten and above. It's a mental puzzle, so you can use it either for digital or physical breakouts. You start with a mixture of pictures, letters, or words that can be sorted in 2 to 5 categories. For a 3-directional combination, you can use a Venn diagram. Then you put those categories into a common order, and the players count the number in each category for the number combination or for that number teacher code. In the example that I've shown you here, we have all these different types of monsters, and what you have to do is sort them into their appropriate habitat based off of what they look like. So over here, you take the monsters with the wings, because they're going to be living in the tree, and have that be 1, 2, and 3. Our next one is kind of an underwater habitat, so you're looking for the ones that look like they're some sort of underwater animal. In this case, we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then our last one is just going to be all the remaining monsters, which number 6. This type of puzzle is called Number ID. It's appropriate for 2nd grade and above. It's a mental type puzzle, which means it'll work for a digital or physical breakout. Use a list of clues identifying an important number, which can be an address, a phone number, a room, a license plate, or anything else that you can think of. It'll work for a number combination or a number teacher code. In the example that I've given you, it says, to find my bomb, you'll have to see one of the rooms on floor 3. So that's telling the player you're looking for a room number on the 3rd floor, and I've accompanied that with a 3rd floor room plan. Do you hope to be the one who wins? Then you should know that 2 numbers are twins. That's telling the player 2 of the numbers are going to be the same. If into danger you choose to delve, the room's numbers multiplied will give you 12. So that's saying each of the digits multiplied together is going to give you 12, and once you take all of that information together, you're going to get the room number that you want. This is a math operations type puzzle, which is appropriate for 3rd grade and above. It's a mental puzzle, which means it'll work for a digital or a physical breakout. Any chart or document with numbers can be turned into this type of puzzle by including the words sum, add, subtract, difference, product, times, divided, or quotient. This puzzle works with number combinations or teacher codes. In the example that I've given you, it says, some of you might think you're big shots because you've scaled the likes of Mount Fuji. Trust me, there's a difference. The story behind this particular breakout is the students are trying to qualify to go on an expedition to Mount Everest. So what they have to do is they're going to have to subtract the height of Mount Fuji from the height of Mount Everest to get the difference. Measurement type puzzles are appropriate for 3rd graders and up. They are mental type puzzles, which means they'll work for digital or physical breakouts. You can measure temperature, length, width, height, circumference, diameter, mass, weight, or volume. For the harder puzzles, you can combine this with a math operations type puzzle. This puzzle is going to work with number combinations or number teacher codes. In the example that I've given you, you have to get the measurements for both of those thermometers, and once you've filled them in, you will have the combination to a 4-digit block. This puzzle is titled Clock Hands Part 2. Part 1 was over in the directional puzzles. It's appropriate for 3rd grade and up. It is a mental type puzzle, which means it'll work for a digital or physical breakout. Use the numbers the hour, minute, and second hands point to for a combination. Text clues give the order. To increase the level of difficulty, use a clock without numbers or with Roman numerals. Works for number locks or teacher codes. In the example that I've given you, it says, I expect punctuality in every member of our team. Every minute you delay gives evildoers more opportunities to cause trouble. The world needs to know they can rely on us in their hour of need. Hurry and solve this puzzle because there isn't a second to waste. So in my clue, the words minute, hour, and second will give you the order. So you'd start with the minute hand, which is over here at the 2. Then we have our hour hand, and that is pointing at the 10. And then it's got our second hand, which is pointing at the 7. So our combination would be 2, 1, 0, 7. This puzzle is titled Time Conversion. It's appropriate for third graders and up. It's a mental type puzzle, which means it'll work for digital and physical breakouts. Convert the analog clock time to its digital form for a number lock or a teacher code. To increase the level of difficulty, use a clock without numbers or with Roman numerals. You can also indicate a future or past time the students must figure out after converting the current time. So here in this particular example I've given you, it says the bomb is set to go off in 20 minutes. We need to move fast and warn everyone. So this is obviously not the third grader version of this puzzle, considering that I'm using Roman numerals, which puts it at least at middle school level and up. And then I made it a little more challenging because I've told them that they're going to need to go 20 minutes into the future. So for this particular lock, we're looking at a time of 1:50. So 20 minutes into the future is going to put them at 2:10. So the combination for this lock would be 210. This puzzle type is called Clock Face, which is appropriate for sixth graders and up. It's a mental type puzzle, so you can use it for digital breakouts or physical breakouts. Place objects in a circle in the positions of numbers on a clock face. They become stand-ins for those numbers in the combination. Text clues give the order. Words for a number lock combination or a teacher code. So this is a BreakoutEDU puzzle that they've created, and they have all these different animals around the outsides like a clock. So in the middle is giving us the animals that we're going to be using. So we have is friendly, and the students have to figure out which of these dog pictures suggests a friendly dog. Then it has loves to sing, so we have to use that. Practices yoga, can dance, plays fetch. So you figure out what picture matches up with those words, and that's going to give you your 5-number combination. This puzzle type is called an algebra puzzle. It's appropriate for fourth graders and up. It's a mental type puzzle, which means it'll work for digital or physical breakouts. This puzzle works well with number locks or teacher codes. Students solve the problem to find the combination. To increase the level of challenge, you can use larger numbers, more complicated types of equations, and/or mix up the equations so that the first solvable number is not at the top. Over here in our example, we can see here there are 3 pies, which indicate 3 of the same numbers is going to equal 15. For students to be able to solve this puzzle, they'll need to be able to work out that they're taking the number 15 and they're dividing it by 3. So they know that the number for each of these pies has to be 5. Then we've got the 5 and then the 2 turkeys. They have to figure out to subtract the 5 from the 17. That's going to give us 12. And then they need to know that the 12 gets divided by 2, telling us each turkey is 6. So now we have the 6 and we have the 2 corns. So we subtract the 6 from the 24, which is going to get us 18, which tells us that the corn here has to be 9. And then we take those 2 numbers here, the 6 and the 5, multiply them together, giving us 30 minus the corn, which is 9. So our combination is going to be 0, 2, 1. Our final puzzle for this video is grid coordinates, which is appropriate for 7th graders and up. It's a mental type puzzle, which means it'll work for digital or physical breakouts. Place the objects in a grid and indicate their order. Players figure out the X, Y coordinates for a number combination or a teacher code. In the example that I've given you, the objects are these little animals that are hiding in the window. And you have to consider these 2 windows as being together in order to get the correct combination. Over here, they have hidden the combination order in these books, where we're matching up the gray cat first, and then the green little alien, the white, I think that's a dog, and then the brown monkey. So the combination would be, starting with the cat, it's 2, 2. Then we have our alien over here, which is 6, 3. Then we have our dog, which is 4, 1. And finally, the monkey, which is 2, 3. This concludes our numbers only breakout puzzles. I hope everyone enjoyed themselves, and thanks again for watching.